Good afternoon. Today is September 3rd. Today is a Tuesday and I'm currently off from school because of Hurricane Dorian. But here in Miami, Florida, we got spared by this catastrophe that happened just 200 miles to the north and east. Miami just got some rain bands, and I'm going to be honest, kind of the whole coast of Florida got spared from this disastrous hurricane. But 200 miles to north and east from Miami exists two islands, the Great Abaco Island and the Great Bahamian Island, housing the city of Freeport, and both of those islands got completely destroyed. You couldn't have drawn up a worse situation. Just think about it. This hurricane was the second strongest in Atlantic Basin history. In our recordings, the second worst ever, 185 mile per hour, Category 5 hurricane that stalled out. So both of these islands not only got tropical storm winds for 24 hours, but hurricane winds, including the eye wall, for 24 hours. And finally, Dorian is starting to lift up from those two islands so we can start getting those rescue missions into there, helping anybody who's injured. And the loss of life is definitely going to hit double digits, and that's hard to hear, man. Just looking at these aerial photos of Abaco Island and just the city of Marsh Harbor, oh my gosh, the storm surge there was probably 10 to 20 feet in some places. Ridiculous. You could see it, just like the shipping containers that were on like the coast, on the beach, got moved inland, probably like 300 yards inland. What? The devastation there is just unprecedented. That's what the Prime Minister said from the Bahamas, and this good thing it did not hit Florida, because this devastation to Miami Beach, to the city of Miami with 2 million people, I can't imagine. Ooh, good thing we got spared. But Dorian right now is a 110 mile per hour Category 2 hurricane, or Category 3. I know the 110 is like right on the edge of both of them, but it's most likely going to steady off and then slowly weaken once it goes out into the cooler waters past the Carolinas. But there is still going to be effects for Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina. There's hurricane watches up for the coast of South and North Carolina. And don't think that, oh, it's just a Category 2 or 1 hurricane that it's not going to do any damage. Storm surge is definitely going to be a thing. And if Dorian is going to come that close to a landfall like the models are predicting, then you're going to have wind damage for sure. But it's definitely going to be that storm surge, especially to those major cities such as Charleston and Wilmington and to that Cape of North Carolina. You better watch out. But Dorian isn't the only thing that's happening out in the Atlantic. We are in the middle of the hurricane season, so we now have Tropical Storm Fernand in the western Gulf of Mexico, and that's going to bring a little bit of increased rain and wind to Mexico. Not going to strengthen too much because it doesn't have that much time in the warm, boiling waters of the Gulf. And we also have Invest 91L and Invest 92L out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, but those two storms may form, but it doesn't really matter because it's not going to affect any land at all. And as always, we're getting these tropical waves off Africa since it's the beginning of September. And we also have a Hurricane Juliet out in the Eastern Pacific. So a lot's going on in this Atlantic Basin and Eastern Pacific because it's the middle of the hurricane season, and we still got way more to go. And Miami's still not off the clock for the 2019 hurricane season. But that's it for me here. The pictures and videos that we are seeing coming out of both of those Bahamian islands, it's just absolutely scary what happened there. If you were on the island, my thoughts are with you. I mean, we gotta help them out here in the United States, help out our friends in the Bahamas, because just looking at those aerial photos, devastation all over the place. The economy is ruined for the next year. That's how it is. All right, but that's it for me here. Let's roll it out to yesterday's Maxwell. That's it for me here in Miami, Florida, reporting for Tropical Storm Dorian, because that's all the conditions that we got in Miami. But I am 100% sure that just 200 miles to the north and east, it is absolute hell right now. Dude, I do not want to be there. But hey, we got some wind. Alright, that's it. Peace.
3, 2, 1.
We haven't watched television in 2 hours.
Max has checked every single second of the hurricane.
No, he's been videotaping.
Oh.
Could have turned.
Yep.